We all rise and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We all please stand for one moment of silence for the Newtown, Connecticut disaster. Thank you.
Roll call of the members. Councilor Arrigo.
Here.
Here. Councilor Correggio.
Here.
Here. Councilor Janino. Here. Here. Councilor Guanasso.
Here.
Here. Councilor Haas. Here. Councilor Novoselsky. Here. Councilor Patch.
Here.
Here. Councilor Powers is absent. Councilor Reardon.
Here.
Here. Councilor Zambuto. Here. And Council President Penta.
Here.
Here.
Just to make note, Council Powers was here and had somewhere else he had to be. Just want to make note that he was here and had to leave.
Mr. President, suspension of rules, please.
Not suspension of rules. All in favor, all opposed, so voted.
Mr. President, the mayor has wants to speak before us, and I know he has to run, so hopefully we can hear him first.
Mayor? We're under suspension, yeah. Just don't run afterwards.
Mr. President, members of the council, thank you very much. This is actually, I guess, will be calendar item number 7 under communications. I just wanted to come before you this evening. I guess this is one of those appointments that actually doesn't require formal confirmation by the City Council, but as has been my protocol and will continue to be my protocol, I obviously want the council to get to know who my appointments are, and certainly when it comes to department heads, you should know who will be handling those day-to-day duties. So I'm here, as you can relate back to your communication, to speak about Michael Hinojosa, who is here tonight with his wife, Maria Elena Hinojosa. Michael is our new Director of Parks and Recreation. Michael, I've known for quite a while now. He is a real, what I'll call a solid citizen here in the city. He's a lifetime resident, Michael? Lifetime resident of the city. Very, very involved, certainly with children's programs, kids' sports, so on and so forth. And I've come to know him as somebody that really gives of himself, dedicates himself certainly to the children of this city, but really to the people of our community. And I think he's going to make a great director of Parks and Recreation. He's very, very even-keeled. He's not somebody that's going to fly off the handle or make any rash decisions. He's somebody who I find to be very thoughtful. He's a consensus builder. And I really think, based on just one conversation or one meeting that I've had with him and the rest of the members of the department, of the Parks and Recreation Department, that he's going to be a great addition and is going to fit in very, very nicely. So I just asked Michael to be here this evening in case any of you had any questions for him or just wanted to, have a chance to meet him. But he is here for your edification, and if there's anything that you would like to ask him, I'm sure Michael is prepared to answer whatever you may have, or if you want to know a little bit more about him, I'm sure he'll be able to accommodate you on that as well. So, again, Mr. President, I just wanted to take this brief opportunity to introduce Michael to you. I didn't want to tie up the council for too long, and he is here for you councilors, anybody that may have anything for Michael. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Anybody have any questions for Michael? If you want to come up, put a face with a name so the people out there can see you. Anybody with kids will be calling you. So, is there any questions? Council Patch.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would just like to say and wish Michael good luck. He's also a member of Ward 6. But I know there's having my son's families growing bought houses in Ward 6 and have young children, and this is a position that's been being watched very closely, the replacement. And I think the mayor, again, made a very fine choice in Michael. I've seen Michael coaching, whether it's Little League, girls softball, girls basketball. He's done it all. He's dedicated most of his adult life coaching, and he was also I'd like to note that he was a fine catcher in baseball that I used to watch. But like I was saying, it's been a lot of it's been closely watched who was going to get this position, and I think my kids' age group with the young children are going to be very pleased with Michael, and all I'm asking is they all give him a chance, and they'll see what I see in his qualifications, and that it'll all work out in the end. Again, good luck, Michael, and thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Council Pass. Council Novoselsky.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I've been involved with high school football for 49 years, and I know the Hinohoses have been gone through the chain, and I've called them from the press box many times hearing that name, and I know he's very sports-oriented, he's recreational-oriented, and he's youth-oriented, and as I am. And I'm still involved. I continue to be involved. I have worked with the Parks and Recreation Department for many years, even being the chairman of the Parks and Recreation Commission for 7 years before I was on the City Council. So I look forward to working with you over the next couple of years, few years, that as long as you hopefully will stick around, as long as I'm around, and I look forward to it. And I think it's going to be a change, somewhat. I know there's a lot of items that were on the board that a lot of people like, and I know Michael wants to keep them going because they were good programs. But I'm sure he'll come up with some new ideas and be able to make the families happy in the city of Revere. Good luck.
Thank you, Council Novoselsky. Council Sambudo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, another fine appointment by the mayor. Michael, I just want, a lot of us know how much you've done for the youth of the city since you've been here, but a lot of people out there don't know. So if you can give a little bit of your background, what you've done in the, working with kids for all these years, just so that the people at home can see that the mayor has picked somebody that's a great fit for the recreation department.
Thank you for those kind words, by the way. But I've been coaching baseball, softball, basketball now for at least 10 years in the city. From all-star teams to traveling teams to, and along the way we've won a few state championships, and we've been pretty successful. So, I just kind of hope to bring that towards the recreation side of things, and keep moving forward. So.
Okay.
Thank you, Council Sambudo. Council Correggio.
Thank you, Mr. President. I welcome you to the Parks and Recreation, but I have to say Adrian McGuire did a tremendous job as far as Parks and Recreation, and I'd like to see a lot of some of those programs reenacted of some of the things she did. She worked here with a lot of dedication to the city. But, the new appointment, and so we're looking, to do things for our youth. The youth is important, that we do everything possible. And I will support you, and I wish you good luck.
Thank you, Council Correggio. Council Reed.
I would echo Council Correggio's sentiments about, particularly about Adrian Sacco McGuire. If you can duplicate her efforts, you'll be doing a fabulous, wonderful job for the city. I know that you can do it, and I look forward to working with you as well in the coming years and making this a better city for our young people. Thank you.
Anybody else? I'd just like to, Michael, welcome you. This council's here to support you. We're all for the kids and the youth of the city, and like I said, if you need us for anything, and if it's finance and whatever, there's nothing more precious than the kids in this city. And I'm sure, like I said, the mayor, so for every appointment he had, he, took long and hard to make that decision, and if he has a confidence in you, I'm sure you'll do very well, and good luck.
I just thank you. Just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity and work very hard for you. Happy holidays.
Thank you, you too.
Mr.
Councilor Haas,
Since we're under suspension, could we take up the License Commission for John?
no problem.
That'd be great. Just before, and Councilor, if I may, I was remiss, and I think Councilor Reardon and Councilor Correggio touched on it. I want to thank Adrienne McGuire for her service to the city. She served in that capacity for at least 10 years, maybe longer, and she did an admirable job. So it was a process that I went through in my own mind, and with talking and actually talking with others, that led me to the conclusion that Michael would be a tremendous fit, that would bring a different perspective in many ways to that position, which is why I ultimately chose Michael. So I want to thank the council for their kind words that they extended to Michael, and for their offer of support to him, because as a new department head, he will need that, and I appreciate your vote of confidence when it comes to his appointment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. I think Council Patch summed it up. I mean, you have your work cut out for you. A lot of people like Andrew. She did a great job. I mean, you've seen the support through the newspapers and everything else, and we've all got phone calls. So, I mean, you're up against it, but hopefully you're up for the challenge. So good luck. With that, we're going to take the appointments up. Council Granaccio, we'll take that.
Thank you, Mr. President. Earlier this afternoon, the appointment subcommittee met, and we had 5 people to be nominated to various positions. And the first was a reappointment of Ms. Ann Raponi to the Conservation Commission. That was acted out favorably. The next was the appointment of Harold Landry as a constable, and that also was acted out favorably. The next was appointment of Mr. John LaCroix to the License Commission, and that also was voted out favorably. And the next was the appointment of J. Kelly Excavating as a licensed drain layer, and that also was voted out favorably. And the final one was the appointment of Dominic Zaney Sons, Inc., as a licensed drain layer. Now, they were all voted out favorably. I asked that the city clerk submit this as one, that we take one vote on this, and it's the recommendation of the appointment subcommittee to vote them out favorably. And thank you for your consideration.
Just to make note on it, the license board will be starting as of January 1st, 2013. The other ones will be effective immediately. January 1st, 2013. Roll call.
On the appointments, as reported by Chairman Guanasso, Councilor Arrigo.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Correggio.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Gino.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guanasso.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky. Yes. Councilor Patch.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Powers is absent. Councilor Reardon.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zambuto.
Yes?
Yes. And Council President Penta.
Yes.
Yes. The appointments have been confirmed.
Congratulations.
Yes. Back to the regular order of business.
Back to the regular order of business.
Approval of the journal of the meeting held on December 3rd, 2012.
All in favor, all opposed, so voted.
Calendar item number 1, a hearing called is ordered upon the application of Dairy Mart at 160 Squire Road for a special permit to install 2 new roof signs and a standing accessory sign which exceeds a height of 20 feet.
I believe that was withdrawn. The council wanted to take a vote to
Mr.
withdraw without
President.
prejudice. Councilor Granasso.
Mr. President, there was a letter of withdrawal on this particular application. I'm very thankful that they saw it that way after many of the neighbors have approached me to ask that this be denied. So in conjunction with that, I ask that this be acted out favorably and withdraw it.
Withdraw without prejudice?
Withdraw without prejudice.
Okay, roll call.
Roll call on the motion to allow the applicant to withdraw without prejudice. This is for 160 Squire Road. Councilor Arrigo.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Correggio.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guanasso.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Patch.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Powers is absent. Counselor Reardon?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes, and Council President Penta?
Yes.
Yes, the application has been withdrawn without prejudice. Calendar item, this is back to committee reports. Calendar item number 3, that the mayor direct the superintendent of public works to develop a comprehensive plan for annual cleaning. These are being reported out from various committees with a recommendation be placed on file under Rule 23.
Place on file.
Calendar item number 4, motion of Councilor Penta relative to the creation of a water and sewer commission within the city of Revere.
Place on file.
Calendar item number 5, communication from the mayor relative to the state of the city address.
Place on file.
Calendar item number 6, communication from the mayor relative to the appointment of John LaCroix to the License Commission.
They've 6, 7, 8, and 9 are all done. We'll place them on file.
Yep, okay. Calendar item number 10, motion presented by Councilor Guanasso that the mayor requests National Grid to repair and repave the entire length of Malden Street where National Grid was conducting work. With winter fast approaching, the unsatisfactory paving and patchwork conducted by National Grid will cause damage to vehicles.
Councilor Granazzo.
Also like Councilor Corriggio added to that motion. But subsequent to this motion coming before us this evening, Mr. President, I was informed by the city clerk through the mayor's office that an agreement has been met to not only just do some of Malden Street, but they promised to do curb to curb because of the reaction to many of the residents in the area who are concerned about just having a street repaved and a major street, be it at that, was a major concern to them. And so what they promised to do, and they will do, according to the mayor's office, is that they will do the first cutting and surface work prior to the winter beginning, and they will conclude early spring with the final coat. So this should go curb to curb, and the area residents can be well assured that their street will be repaved, and the rest of the community who traverses and travels Malden Street can be assured that it'll be put in a great fashion.
Thank you, Councilor Granazzo. Councilor Corriggio.
Thank you, President Penta. Again, as Councilor Granasso said, it was brought to my attention and Councilor Granasso's attention that they had to replace a rotted gas line, and the street was just repaved 2 years ago, and it's a perfectly well-paved street, and to be dug up a trench just seemed out of line, and hopefully the gas company can repave it and put the street back to its normal look. Thank you.
Thank you. On the motion, all in favor, all opposed, so voted.
Late motion presented by Councilor Reardon that the mayor request representatives of the Revere Police Department, Verizon, and National Grid, and that Dr. Dakin send a representative of the school department to appear before the City Council to discuss the stalled implementation of the proposed video surveillance cameras at various school sites. The events of this past Friday have made evident the need for immediate access to this invaluable security tool in our community.
Councilor Reardon.
Thank you, Mr. President. It was brought to my attention a couple of weeks ago that the grant that we were allowed to provide for these high-definition cameras outside our school buildings to be tied into not only the main call center, but also be accessible to individual police cruisers around the city as well as other public safety facilities. Although we received a grant for the cameras, apparently there's been some issues regarding their installation. Primarily, what I would describe, after having read quite a bit of information this afternoon about it, seems to be mostly red tape. To the point where the expense to the city would have required the abandonment of the project. In light of the events that happened on Friday, I don't think this is a project that we can afford to abandon in any way, shape, or form. And I also believe that with the cooperation of the utilities, we could probably cut through this red tape and get these things installed. I was originally going to wait till the first of the year to put this motion forward, but it seems to me that time is essential in this matter, given what we witnessed last week. And I would ask that the parties come together before us and figure out a way to get this done as quickly as possible, regardless of the expense, quite frankly.
Thank you, Councilor Reardon. Councilor Sambudo.
Thank you, Mr. President. I spoke with the mayor's office today and the chief of police, and chief of police, I just want to let the people, the citizens know that chief of police has walked every school and evaluated the security situation there. He tells me he signed purchase orders today regarding these cameras. I will say that our former chief, Reardon, was instrumental in implementing these cameras when I was public safety chair. We had many, many meetings discussing the effect of these cameras, and he did a great job doing that. So I think, if anything, I just want to let the citizens know that our public safety officials, our mayor, and the city council are completely on top of the security in our schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Sambudo. Councilor Janino.
Thank you. I think that this meeting will be a great opportunity to really talk to the public about, a lot of the questions that they may have regarding the incident that happened last week and how it could affect our community and how we can really keep our community safe. As you saw earlier this evening, we have an outstanding police department that's really working hard to keep the community safe, but there used to be 3 police officers assigned to the school systems. Now there's only 2 in the high school building, and I think that this is an opportunity to talk about a lot of the systems that we have in place right now and how we can improve them and how we can really have more visibility of the department during, these times of years when it's a little more instrumental to really have safety. And I think this would be a really great opportunity, so I thank Councilor Reardon. It's a great motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Janino. Councilor Corriggio.
Thank you, President Penta. I agree with Councilor Reardon with the motion, and also Councilor Janino. She brought out some very important points. What I like to see added with the motion is a joint venture between the school committee and the council and the police chief, Caffarelli, and the Paul Dakin to go over security issues in the school. This is very, very important. I mean, with the tragedy we had in Connecticut, I believe a police officer should be put in every school, near the entrance, some type of a little office found for security, possibly metal detectors. I don't know. There's people now that could have knives on them. We don't know what they're going to have. But we want to give the children of Revere the best protection possible. And so this joint venture would be able to discuss all of the security issues and be able to have them in place to better make the children in our school system safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Corriggio. Councilor Patch.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to make the public aware that there was which was a very good thing for the children of Revere, was there was a big Revere police presence at all the schools today, and brought about by, I'm sure, Superintendent Dakin and the chief. The chief was visiting all the schools and had made sure there was a police presence at the school. Now, unfortunately, as far as the 3 police officers at the school, the school department, the superintendent has in the past paid for those salaries, which he's paying for the 2 right now. But unfortunately, the Revere Police is very understaffed, and he just can't. He can't let one more officer go to the schools. But I'm sure with what happened this past week, there will be some more policy put out as far as police being present more often at the schools. And this is a great motion by Councilor Reardon. These video surveillance cameras are a great tool of the police, and it could probably save lives in the future. And the faster we get them installed, the better the city will be. On that, I'll say thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Patch. Councilor Hess.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think the motion is a great motion. We need dialogue, especially what happened last Friday in Connecticut. we all have thoughts, ideas, et cetera, and I believe beyond the surveillance cameras, which without question is desperately needed, we have to look at other innovative ways to utilize the police. Our police department is probably one of the lowest it's been in years. Maybe we have to look at utilizing some of the retired police officers. You know, all their medical is paid for the most part, and it may be an opportunity to utilize them in our school systems, along with possibly utilizing the guards, the National Guard. These people have to serve within the Commonwealth of Mass, and there's a lot of items that could come up. Some of them may be way out, but again, at least bring them to the table, and I think that's an important part that this motion will actually do. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Hess. Councilor Granasso.
Thank you, Mr. President. The event of this past week has brought us all to our knees, and it's an event that will harm the rest of us for the rest of our lives, and we have to do the most we can to prevent this from happening in the future. I think an awareness made by, and the students themselves get the word first as to if there are any individuals within their classrooms that have some sort of a psychological problem or some sort of dislike or hate for anything that's going on in their surrounding areas. I think we've got to get a mindful and a useful meeting with the Revere Police, with the teachers, we should set up some sort of educational process that we get the information immediately when there's a disgruntled student or a student who seems unhappy or withdrawn, and again, it's the students themselves who can identify this, and we just have to make more of a public awareness in how to educate all of us to see this problem before it happens, because we can put metal detectors, we could put police, but if you have some deranged person walking in with semi-automatics, there is nothing in the world that's going to stop them. We've got to stop it before it even hits that level, and we have to do whatever we can within our power to do that. And I think now we have to listen to what's taking place and to learn from that. And I think certainly more education within the classroom and telling these kids how to report individuals who are disgruntled or unhappy with their surroundings to their teacher, and the teacher can bring it to the proper source. But I think it's an educational process that we all have to learn.
Thank you, Councilor Granasso.
Thank you, Mr.
Councilor
President.
Novoselsky.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, everybody knows that we had this devastating occurrence last week, and nobody knows when it will ever happen. And I know Councilor Reardon did his research on it. I thank him for putting this motion in. I think it will help us in the long run. And I do want to thank Councilor Granasso tonight for his awareness, and not only of his comments, but if you notice, some of us are wearing green and white ties. And Councilor Granasso came up with the idea this afternoon that we honor the school. These are the school colors, green and white. And this is our way to honor the school and those who lost their lives. And seeing those 6- and 7-year-old kids was just heartbreaking for everybody. You know, I saw men, women, kids crying. And for what people may think, you know, the president was crying several times when he spoke last night and even last week when it occurred. But I just want to bring out something ironic. And everybody knows my last name is Novoselsky. Well, Novoselsky is a Russian word. Novo means new, and a Selsky in Russia is a town. So my name means new town. So I kind of have that connection. I've been thinking about it quite a bit, and it's always on my mind, and I will always remember what happened there and remember the little ones and the teachers. And we have to mention the teachers too, how brave they were. And we look at our teachers, and I know they're all trained in this stuff. So I look forward for them to continue their diligence and look to protect our kids all over. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman Oscar. I'd just like to say a few words. That was probably the most evil situation I've ever seen in my life. That was just plain evil. It wasn't tragic or anything else. It was evil. But I think any dialogue is good. But I felt good today. My sister, everybody knows, the principal of Paul Revere School. I called her up, and she was very happy the way the police, the superintendent, they were down there. They walked through the schools, even patrolmen, everybody throughout the school system. I talked to the chief today. There's no question that was on every single educator's mind, every law enforcement's mind. Anybody that turned your TV on for 2 minutes the last 3 days, it was on their mind. And I'm proud of them because I already knew before I called, but I just wanted to reinforce them that this council and the city area is behind them, whatever they implement in the school system. But, you know, it's not just a school issue. I mean, this is just an evil acts that happen in theaters, could happen in this room. But unfortunately, it's just something that, I think Councilor Granasso touched on it, that these are demented people that actually have to be brought to the forefront as soon as somebody knows, even if it's a family member. I mean, if there's nothing wrong. I mean, if you watch some of the stuff that coming out with this person, they knew that this person was disturbed weeks or months ago. And unfortunately, the laws aren't there to protect. So I think there's a lot of laws. I'm sure the federal government, everybody here, everybody right up to the President of the United States is going to be on top of this. And hopefully, God forbid this never happens again. With that, on the motion, all in favor, all opposed, so voted.
Late motion presented by Councilors Correggio and Guanasso that the owners of Anthony's Market on Broadway be requested to appear before the City Council to discuss the mass littering of old lottery tickets which originated from said place of business. Further, that the City Council and Inspectional Services draft tougher ordinances with respect to penalties for littering.
Council Correggio.
Thank you, President Penta. Yesterday, a lot of neighbors brought it to my attention, including on the street where I live, Graves Road, and Gage Avenue and part of Malden Street, hundreds of lottery tickets like this strewn all over the roadway and the sidewalk, and this is the second time it's happened. And I checked the numbers of the lottery ticket, and it came from the Anthony's Market on Revere Street and Broadway. I want these people to come before the City Council to explain what's going on. They're old tickets, but it made a mess of the entire area. And I want to make sure these people are aware of it. I mean, the original people, I mean, where all these tickets came from, they're responsible for keeping the city clean or around their area. So I want them before the City Council, and I want stiffer fines for littering around the city. Because another situation, people are leaving their takeout food, they're leaving bottles and everything. They just throw out of their car, it goes on the sidewalk or the street, and it brings in rats, it brings in animals. And this is starting to get worse and worse for the city of Revere. So we need tougher laws as far as littering, and also the police involved to see if they can catch some of these people. So that's basically it. I hope the motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Correggio. Councilor Granasso.
Thank you, Mr. President. I conferred earlier this morning with Councilor Correggio in reference to the litter that was displayed all over the streets. This is the second such event that this has happened in the last year, and this is the second too many events that happened. So I spoke with the councilor, and I said that we could identify it by calling the lottery and getting the location to where they're coming from. And these tickets are as old as April 23rd of 2010. So these are old tickets that were stored someplace, and someone within that business had to be the one who had them, because these aren't with individuals. And it's all, it seems like all the same date, all the 23rd of April 2010. So I think that they should be held accountable for it. And any last time we had the street sweepers down there to do it. Any additional cost that's placed upon the city in regards to this type of action should be placed upon the owner of who sells these tickets. And I think I want them up here, as Councilor Correggio does. And also, I would suggest that the Inspectional Service be here that night that they come up, so that we can discuss what's taking place, and maybe this sends a message out to everybody in the community. I know the Dairy Mart, the same thing, several tickets thrown about on a daily basis. These people who sell these tickets have to be accountable for the cleanup of them, and it's as simple as that. Why should the citizens live in filth because of some disregard of a business owner who doesn't take it upon themselves to clean the area? So with that, hope this goes through, and we look forward to meeting with the business owners and the Inspectional Service Division.
Thank you, Councilor Granasso. On the motion, all in favor, all opposed, so voted. Motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn. Everybody have a good Christmas, happy Hanukkah, happy holidays, and happy New Year to everybody, and have a safe and merry one. Thank you.